It's the 24th of May 2026. I'm undertaking a restoration project, the biggest restoration project I've ever attempted. It's a 1964 Camper Nicholson 36 fiberglass hull and wooden deck structure and cabin structure. The hull is fine, the wooden parts needed extensive restoration. It's already quite far underway. I've done a fair amount of work already, on and off, but there's still a lot to do. So I've been documenting the process via photos and a few videos since I started, but I thought I would continue documenting the process by updating and uploading to YouTube, not only just to share the project with other people who would be interested in the restoration of a relatively rare vessel, but also just so there is a document, a record of the work carried out, and hopefully with a view to expanding a community more, so that I can seek advice and help from more knowledgeable people than myself, because I'm not a shipwright. I'm capable, but I'm not a shipwright, and you know, there's some unique problems and skills that go along with boat building, boat restoration, that I have no experience in or training in. And yeah, so I'm hoping that this will become a journey that we can all go on together. I know there's a million boat channels out there, you know, there's no good looking girls in this one in bikinis on, you know, in tropical locations. It's just a boatyard in England, middle-aged bloke and his dog trying to fix up this old classic yacht. So yeah, I'm going to take you on board and show you what's been done so far and the current state of the yacht. I'll try and find some photos of her when I bought her and how good she looked, and you know, I look at them photos sometimes and I just think, oh, I just should have left her alone. But you know, when I show you some of the things that I'm going to have to fix, it'll be obvious that it was, although it's been and will be a lot of work, it will be worth it, because there were some things hidden that yeah, that definitely needed to be rectified before she was sailed in anger anywhere other than locally, you know. So I will spin you round and we'll climb up on board and go and have a look. Here she is. She's a beautiful old girl. What a boat. Let's climb up on board and I'll show you give you a little look around. She's a bit of a mess at the moment, so yeah, bear that in mind. So here up on deck, under my feet here, is some new plywood that I've already fitted, trial fitted anyway, just a dry fit for now.
I like to kind of cut it in around the cabin top there. I think I used a rasp to kind of shape it to get it to fit. It's all right. It's nowhere near as precise as the original guys did it, but it'll do for me. I think that's the wonders of modern epoxies and resins and things. Is the ability for them to fill gaps. Yeah, so we're up on deck. Let's take a little walk down the side. So I spent a fair while fixing this. This was plywood when I took the edges of the deck off. It runs the entire length of the boat, all the way around. I've been all the way around the boat and done it, with the exception of this piece here. You can see this slot. I have to chisel all that out and clean it all up. The only reason I haven't completed this last part is because in here in the cockpit there was the bulkhead that goes here. This was a quarter berth just here. I'm not sure what to do, whether to reinstate that or make this more outside locker space just here. But yeah, this was all rotten, and all of the deck after here was pretty rotten. So I've worked on this part, painted inside, stripped and painted inside the hull here, and repaired the deck beams. So we're inside now. I never even wanted to state the obvious. But yeah, this was the forward cabin, and here there was a single berth that side, a single berth that side, and just stuff crammed up there. Chain locker was there. There was a big pipe, hawser pipe that came through. But I've cleaned all the inside of the hull as best as I can with from the old paint and stuff. And yeah, I started to clean the woodwork in here when I still was on board. But yeah, my main issue at the moment is this is where the chain plates were fiberglassed into the hull of the boat. There's 6 of those, 3 either side. There's one still in its original position. These are bolted to what inside is a piece of 1/2 inch thick galvanised steel, and once I took the deck off, it quickly became apparent that much of the steel has turned to rusty water, as you can see there. And yeah, literally it's like a sea of cornflakes behind there. Another one there. There's one in the bathroom behind this cupboard, just got to come out of the way, and the other one is there. So I've already taken one out. I'll take you back up on deck and show you. So, get a good view. That's the stainless bit, and there's the galvanised steel. And this one's actually quite good. You know, it probably would have lasted, I don't know, ages. probably would have lasted. But once you've seen it, you know, it scares you, right? And that was off the starboard side. Let's see if we can have a look. So when Halmatic built this hull, their idea were these kind of voids, these structures that were bonded to the inside of the hull with the chain plate in it, and that's how it goes. But yeah, look down in here, all that rust, that is just rust, and this fiberglass in the back is actually bowed out as the fiberglass is expanded and blown. The iron, sorry, the galvanized steel. Same story there. And over the other side, it's worse. I don't know why, but the port side, the fiberglass back has completely come away there. So literally all that's holding that in was this layer of fiberglass on top. This structure here that they built out from the edge of the hull, which I've had to cut back, but that was completely enclosed there. And these were all full of water, and every time it rained, I used to get rusty water come down the inside of the boat. So I've got to repair all that before I can continue bringing the new deck aft along here. So if I can get that done this summer, get the deck on, and by the time winter comes maybe have the engine out and in the workshop, you know, I think I'll be doing well. So yeah, I don't know what to do about this, but I think I'm just going to get everything out of the way first on the starboard side, and just work over that side, get the bathroom units out of the way, because I'd quite like to put that back differently, a bit more, not modern looking, but a bit nicer materials. It's a bit Spartan, dated, and just redo it. And all the electrics are behind there, the electrical cables have been routed back round that side, so I thought if I tackle that and get all that old wiring out of the way, all this household flex from the 1960s, all down there, get that all out of the way, get this cupboard unit out of the way that you can see, because this side's nice and clean in comparative, so I thought I'd do the easy side first and get a hang of what I'm going to do, and then tackle the more difficult side. Let's go back inside. Yeah, I spent a bit of time on it last year, sanding, cleaning, prepping. I want to put a double berth up in the front here, and move the chain locker the other side of this little bulkhead. And it had a Simpson and Lawrence manual windlass on it, which weighed about 1,000,000 tonnes. So I'm going to try and replace that with something a little bit more modern and lightweight to kind of keep the weight down up front there. There's the heads. So yeah, that cupboard's got to come out of the way, as does that cupboard. But yeah, I mean, she's pretty Spartan from the factory, but she's still got all of her original log there, and her original depth, which all worked. The wind speed indicator didn't work because there's no anemometer up on top of the mast. My little cooker, still a load of washing up in the sink that I never did. Yeah, she's a cool boat, she sails good, but she just needs a lot of work. And to say that I'm slightly overwhelmed would be an understatement, but I've got to do it. I'm determined to do it, I'm committed to it. And I feel like I'm the one that's been given the responsibility of giving this old girl a new lease of life, you know, as best I can. So yeah, that's it. I'm going to spend the rest of the day today having a good old sort out. There's still a lot of toot in here and I kind of want a clean slate, so I'm going to start emptying stuff out. And there's all flag from St Lucia. The one time I crossed the Atlantic and arrived in St Lucia, not on this boat, as part of a crew, and that was our little courtesy flag that we raised. What a fantastic voyage that was. That's a story for another day. Yeah, that's the bathroom door. Yeah, so this is like episode 1. I can upload some photos of her as she was, and some of the photos of the work I've done previously, some of the rot that I have evident. You know, I've kept photos of everything. Yeah, the best bit is the electrics. This old electric panel in here. I don't know if you guys, you know, people in the UK will remember, if they are older than a certain age, these old fuses that you have to fit fuse wire to. I mean, and everything still worked on the boat, all the lights, everything. So there you go. Just goes to show really that sometimes the older ways are the best of ways. But I'm going to be replacing all that for modern breakers, I think, at some point. But that's it all needs rewiring. The wire on here is all household, like that unit in there. It's all come from whatever the equivalent of B&Q was back in 1960. But yeah, I think this boat, in today's money when it was new, was about £250,000, which just boggles your mind really, doesn't it? This was kind of house money, and I think it's worth about £1 in its current condition. But that's neither here nor there. It is worth restoring because she's a beautiful thing, and she's got the charm of a wooden boat on top, and the coach roof and the woodwork, and a kind of ridiculously overbuilt Halmatic hull from the 1960s with aluminium ribs every foot, glassed in. You know, it's a tank, and she just muscles through the waves. So I want to sail, I want to sail her, I want to explore the earth, and I want Wayfarer to take me there. But I've got a long way to go. I want to get the engine out this year. It all runs, but it's very crusty. I want to get it out, get it on the bench, get it stripped, get it clean, examine everything, and repaint everything, and then that'll give me an opportunity to get into the bilge down there, which is a disaster area. And in there, I just want it clean, tidy, fresh, safe, usable. She doesn't have to be luxurious. She just has to be functional. It's such a nice day that I'm just going to spend the best part of it outside tidying up around the boat. It's just a mess. Something's been living under the tarpaulin. I've been keeping the wood next to the boat. But yeah, I'm just getting organised. I want to get the inside just completely cleaned out, so that when I'm working, I'm not trying to fight around just stuff. So I'm going to spin you around now. We'll have a quick look at just the general state of what's going on. So yeah, under here was the forward cabin, the remains of the forward cabin, which is now in the back of the van. Something's been living in here, having a nice old time, a rat or something. But anyway, I'm going to clean all this up. I've got loads of scraps of wood that I want to organise and keep, and just have a good sweep up and tidy up around the boat so it looks clean and tidy. I just can't work in
in an untidy environment just does my head in. My boom was full of water, so I've got that propped up, draining out. It's Clay Boy, Chip's dog. So yeah, just trying to get organised around the old girl, so I can get round, clean, get round her properly, store relevant things under there that I actually need. Got a little bit of dug fur left on the table, but I need to get some more for my structural stuff. I've got through 2 quite big chunks of this already, doing deck blocks and things, and other bits and pieces. Good old stuff. Yeah, I'm going to just carry on doing that, get tidied up, and then when it cools off a bit later, I'm going to get inside, just try and get as much stuff out as possible. So we're looking a bit tidy around here now. This side, still a bit of work to do around the other side. A few odds and sods. I've got a pretty good van load now, so I'm going to find room for that in my workshop somewhere. Try and free up some space on the shelf. I'm a bit loath to chuck anything away until she's finished, because I don't know what I'm going to need and what I'm not going to need. But that's basically all the forward cabin in there and loads of other odds and sods. Yeah, loads to do, but it is looking a bit tidier. I'm gonna have a little rest now and get something to eat and a drink. I might get back on board later on and have a look inside, start getting some stuff out, but really I need to empty this, so I might do that and then figure out what to do next.